bat. Different in.
Heck yeah, man, looks good. Sweet. Man, it looks nice. Okay, you ready?
If anything, I can run around and stop in the back.
Yeah, the thing I'm going to be concerned about is making the turn, because it's going to have to kind of turn in the garage, but not dropping that front corner off.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Go.
Last one, footing.
Fine.
Good?
Yep.
Alright. If you want to turn tire,
Am I getting real close on that side?
you're going to be like half on, half off once you get past.
Oh, really?
So you're going to have to turn it this way.
Okay. Do I need to lay that fender down?
Turn your wheel.
Which way?
That way. Okay.
Okay. Is
I have like no footing now.
Is that enough room? Down there. Open
Don't push me.
up. Okay. Go back and look. You gotta be over the lid. I'll get the chalk.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Go over it. Go over on the other side. Grab that chalk out of the way. I'll pull back a little bit more because it seems like it wants to roll forward.
I just want to make sure that when I get to that chalk, I don't run that over.
Okay. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Hold on.
Okay. Ready?
You good?
Yeah. Once those front wheels come off, it's gonna go. So.
Do you want to get in it now?
Yeah, I'll get in there. Okay.
Good?
Yep.
There we go.
Brakes work.
Brakes do work?
Yep. Okay.
Alright, then give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, you want to turn your wheel
Just a little bit.
a little bit.
That way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, straighten it out, straighten it out.
Watch my back end. How much room do I have in the back?
Turn the wheel this way a little bit. Yep. You're good. Go. Your wheel is straight now.
Right. Yeah. Just a little bit. Yep, fine. Oh, whoops, I put it in gear. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Might be able to push on the trailer, too.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yep. Yeah, she's all the way in.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. It's in. Good job.
Holy.
Happy anniversary.
This is our anniversary car. You are kidding me right now. I was like, what's wrong with the garage doors? Like, I can see it try to go up. You are kidding me.
Well, what do you think?
What? I love it. Do I get to name it?
Yes, of course.
This is great. This is great. Is it for me or for you or for us?
It's for you, but
You're
it's
alive. It's for you.
no, it's for us.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Did you have any idea?
No, I had no clue. I mean, since the last time you told me about it, I was like, oh, it's not gonna happen because it's been too long.
Yeah.
You know. So no, I thought it wasn't gonna happen. Thing is freaking awesome.
Yeah, open it up.
Do you have to do one or the other first? Do you
Doesn't
have to-
matter.
No? Can I? Oh, I got
Yeah.
work. I don't want
Okay.
to get in. I got work clothes on. Oh, man. This is awesome.
Just shut it. There you go.
Wow. So this bad boy's got to stay in the garage, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
What's going on, YouTube? As you can see, I have a new project. So 2021 marks our 20th wedding anniversary. So this year I decided to go big and I bought my wife a 1939 Buick Century. This car is equipped with the straight 8 motor. It is the sedan, so it has 4 doors with the rear 2 being suicide doors. I picked this car up locally. I am super happy with it. It is in fantastic condition. The interior is great. The body is in fantastic shape. There's little to no rust on it. Really the only rust issue is the running boards, which is super easy to fix. The frame is in great shape. And I have all the bits and pieces that you see missing, with the exception of the lens for the turn signal here on the fender. As far as I know, everything else is with the car. This is a more recent paint job. I think it was painted back in the early 2000s, maybe in the 90s. So this gray color, the original color was a light yellow color, which you can actually see where some of the paint scuffs are. So it needs some work, some tidying. It does not run currently. The brakes seem to work. The radiator is blowing out on the bottom, so I have a new aluminum radiator sitting here, which will be going in the vehicle. I'm really looking forward to getting this thing going. It is a 3-speed manual transmission on the column, which my wife can kind of drive from driving the Galaxy, but it hasn't ran for sure in at least probably 6 or 7 years, and it's always been kept inside. That it was in the north, and now it's in Florida. It's extremely rust-free, so I really lucked out on that. Buick overhead valve, inline 8-cylinder motor. This is still a 6-volt car, which I don't plan on converting over to 12-volt. Overall, it's extremely stock. There's a lot of stuff that is still loose on this vehicle, where it looks like it was getting ready to be taken apart, and they just kind of threw it back together when they sold it. Here you can see the running boards have a little bit of rust in them. Have to patch that up. The design on the handles is really good. The doors open and shut very nicely. As you can see, the seats are in great shape. It looks like, obviously sometime back in the day, this seat started to wear and they sewed in this patch panel, which is just adds to the character of the vehicle. I will leave that. Also on the door panel itself, they put a small pillow here to keep the handle from hitting, and then a little bit of a pad right there. Look at the design in the wood. It's got crank out vent windows, which still work. These things actually, they're a little stiff, but they actually work better than the ones on the Galaxy. Only one small tear in the headliner. Everything else is completely solid. The center of the back seat there folds down for an armrest. Here, I thought that was a newer design. Yeah, the door's a little saggy. Let's look at that wood grain. Fantastic. Windows go up and down, really smooth. More ashtrays, of course. The vent windows in the rear slide open. Obviously they need a little bit of love. So much leg room. Probably 18 inches or better leg room back here. Few other parts, trim pieces. I don't know what's in the box. What's in the box? New belt. Jack has the original jack in there, looks like. Here's an extra panel for something. Pick up on the lid, back down, and it shuts. Just a great car overall. Thank goodness it fits in my garage. There's the other side of the engine. All 8 spark plugs, coil, and then the battery mounts right here in this tray. My wife absolutely loves this vehicle, so thank goodness. I was a little nervous about that. But that's it. Next we'll be doing tidying, little maintenance items, get this thing running and driving again. Well, when I bought the car, the previous owner had put a new battery in there probably 6 years ago, according to this, and it was dead. They put a charger on it for a couple days beforehand, and it would only hold about 3 volts. So with this one, before I go and purchase a new one, which will cost about 250 bucks for that exact one from O'Reilly's, I tried doing the reconditioning process with the science experiment, basically, using a little chemistry. So I flushed it out with distilled water and baking soda, and then added my distilled water and Epsom salt solution in there. And now it's been on a slow charge for a couple days. Actually, I think we're going on day 4. And right now it's drawing 4 amps. So I've been messing with that. In the meantime, I went ahead to see if I could get some work done in here. They were having problems with it getting spark, and so they hadn't ran. So I started off with was pulling all the spark plugs, checking those. Spark plugs look fantastic. I put a little bit of my transmission fluid and Marvel Mystery Oil concoction down in each cylinder. And then I pull off the distributor cap, check the points. Points are good. Vacuum advance seems to be working. I think the diaphragm in there is good. I pulled out the ignition coil. The continuity on that, it was, I think, one from positive to negative across the 2 terminals. I think it was 1.25 or something ohms. But when I noticed that when I took it off, it was just the capacitor over here on the side was hooked up, and the positive lead from the battery was actually laying down here by the battery tray. I'm not sure if that fell off when I was messing with it or that was not connected, but that would definitely cause an issue with no spark. So everything there should be good. As long as the coil's good, everything's hooked up, and then that capacitor that goes on the coil itself, hopefully that's good. It looks old, but I trust that one better than a new one from China, because those ones are just garbage and I've had them fail on me every single time. So with that, let's go ahead and check our battery and see what our voltage is at. 6.3 volts, 3.7. Why don't you stand up for everybody and show your face? All right, I'm gonna disconnect the charger and see what we hold at. Come on, hold. Don't drop below 6. It was dropping pretty quick. Like I said, this has been on a trickle charge for about 4 days now. 2, 1, just drop right at 5.9. Come on. And it continues to drop. 5.96. Well, I can try throwing it in and see what it does. But I think it's about 2 days of this. Let me throw it in the car. Alright, here we go. Battery's in, hooked up. Let's see if we can get something to happen. Okay. Nope, nothing. Did the motor even try to crank? I don't think it did. Well, even with the big battery charged up and holding 6-ish volts, it just has no cranking amps. I can't get more than a couple clicks out of it when I hit the starter. So, called up O'Reilly's, got this bad boy, Optima red top, 6 volt. This big battery in here is 875 cold cranking amps. This one, well, only 800, but 1,000 cranking amps, so we'll see how this one does. It's smaller than that big behemoth, but it's still got the narrow sides, so it'll still fit in the original tray without having to set some big boxy other 6 volt battery in there. So, and this was cheaper than that big one. I'm going to throw that in, see if we can get her to crank over. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. She's hooked up. There we go. Cranks over. That's a good thing. I see my flashlight is on the fritz. Next is, let's see if we can get spark going to it. I always keep extra spark plugs because you never know when you need to check the spark on something. So instead of pulling out a spark plug, you just pop a wire off, stick my spare spark plug in there, and then ground this out to something. Like that. What did it look like? Did you see anything? Yep.
The gas pedal.
Yep, just match the gas pedal. Oh, okay. Cool. That was spark. Okay, we got spark. That'll work. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's, yeah, lever, key,
Yeah.
good to go. All right,
Normal.
that's it.
As it was.
So,
So she crank maybe gas next?
gas. Gas is
First
next.
gas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, see all the ones on the videos? The air cleaner was across here, so.
Yeah, have you looked at that air cleaner yet?
Nope.
A mouse nest.
Maybe.
2 foot long.
Doesn't feel like there's nothing there, but I mean, yeah, just the filter element
Here's
is.
your wing nut.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah,
trash.
let's look at that. Let's look at that.
Yeah, if you want to.
I do.
Yeah.
It's like it's a gross screen. I just wanted to, because he had the wing nut here.
Right. Just can't help but twist the wing
I
nut.
know, I know.
Okay.
Huh. I just want to look at the cloth on this guy here. Man, it's pretty wore out too.
Pull your hood back.
Okay.
Ford works.
Check.
Alright.
Beep beep. Hey, did you try the lights?
No, I did not.
Want to try it?
Yeah, sure.
I'll give you that.
I don't even know which button it is. Ready?
Hit it.
Nothing?
No, not yet.
In fact, that might be a vent. I'm not even sure. Is that them?
Nope. Nope.
That's not it.
Nope.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know.
Okay. Well, maybe they're not wired up yet.
They might not be. Yeah. Heck, I only have bowling fuses and stuff, so
Yeah.
I can't tell you. Okay. I'm gonna squirt some fuel in the carburetor. I don't know how much it's gonna take. Still out of gear. Oh,
I didn't touch the gears.
okay. Well, if she goes forward, look out.
Gas.
Yeah, go ahead and squirt a little bit more in there. Okay, that's good. Oh, yeah, there you go.
You hold it?
Yeah, is that okay? Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, just hold it.
Yeah, I'll just try it.
Just a second. Yep.
Maybe it's got points and condensers and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe check them.
Well, that's what we just checked. It had spark.
Okay.
So it's getting spark.
All right. Well, at least that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if one's getting spark, then unless something's wrong other places,
Okay.
good chances are, because it was brand new, the points were working, obviously. The cap looks brand new. The wires and maybe all the plugs were good.
Okay.
They all look really clean. But
Gas.
tell you what, let me try something else.
Okay. Ether.
Yep.
Aha.
Yeah, the starter fluid, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Here's
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Huh?
Instead of chain lighting up that. Some other stuff. Well, tried cranking on it, adding fuel, cranking on it. I know it's getting spark. It is definitely getting fuel. I did prime up the carburetor, and even the accelerator pump is working, so that's a good thing. But we're still not getting any cough or anything. It acts like nothing's happening. So we're gonna play everyone's favorite game, Name That Compression. So I'm gonna pull out each and every spark plug, throw the compression tester in there, and record every one. And that's hope for all high numbers or hope for all low numbers, I guess. Let's get started. Here we go, cylinder number 1. That's not good. Here we go, cylinder number 2. Yeah, that's better. Cylinder number 3. Uh, 35. Cylinder number 4. About 35 again. Another 30. Okay, and number 8, finally. Okay, well, here's our numbers. So we have everything, and no, that is not a 10 psi for number 1, that is 0, maybe 5 at the most. Our highest was 40 on cylinder number 6, but we're all in the range of about 30 to 29 to 40 psi. So with that being said, I think that's kind of a good thing. I know for a fact this thing did not run with 30 psi in each cylinder, so it's not worn out. It's probably stuck rings or stuck valves. Which I can fix. That's perfectly fine. Like I said, I've been soaking the cylinders down with some oil the last couple days, and I'm just going to have to step up my game a little bit, see if I can get a little bit of heat going in there, which is going to be hard without it being able to run, but I'm going to throw some oil in there, crank it over, and see if my compression bumps up. Well, as you can see, I've gotten some work done on the Buick, kind of in reverse. I got the new radiator installed. So I went through express radiator for that. Anyway, that fit in nicely. I am still working on trying to get my compression up. Let me show you where I'm at here. Here we go. So not looking so good. As you can see, I've did the initial compression on each cylinder, and then I added different oils and fluids to try and bring the compression up. I was able to get one cylinder up to 63 psi, but now it is back down, which makes me think that there's an issue with the rings sealing and making compression. But in the meantime, tried spinning the valves and the springs feel a little loose. So went through went through AutoZone and got a set of springs from Comp Cams. 984/16 springs. These have the dampeners in them. Slightly larger diameter than the stock springs, but we're going to throw those in, and hopefully that helps seal the valves, possibly bring the compression back up. We got stickers. Ah. Oh, you know what? We never went and got the spring compressor. Let me see. Put this over here. What's that torque feel like?
Click. Not much. It can't be much. I'm taking them off with a 3/8 ratchet. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, like,
get over here.
Yeah, what's up? What can I do?
get on the other side.
All of them going down the whole line?
All 8 of them. Yep.
They're already all loose?
Yep. Those are the fun ones. Loose, tight, loose, tight.
Yeah.
Just when you think you don't need the ratchet anymore.
Yeah.
You got that flick of the wrist thing going, doesn't she?
She does. She's really good.
Just makes you proud to know her.
So this.
Just pick straight up. There you go. Are we loose?
I think so.
You got something bound it. There you go.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Take it.
Yep.
There we go.
Nice.
You hand me that flathead. Babe, I need some pressure.
Come down.
You didn't think I was going to say it. That's what that thing was in my hand.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Got a little T-handle.
There. Now you just keep twisting it. See how those come up?
Yeah.
See, now you've got the pressure off the spring.
Okay. Next.
Okay. Applying pressure. Listen to it leak out.
There's hand.
Angle it this way. There we go. Okay.
Let me see what it was you took out.
So those are the keepers for the valve springs.
So far, so good.
Yep. Okay. Excuse me. Yep. This way.
Almost one side. And there.
Then?
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, that's 1:15 to go. Valve seals would probably be nice too. That's good. Let us go through
Here,
here.
come over here. Come over here. I like to stand right here.
That's what made me think about it. It was like, ooh, valve seals. That'd be helpful. Then you go through. Seat all of them.
There.
Okay. Ah, jeez. Well, this thing's just getting frustrating as can be. Put new valve springs in, and it's just still has little compression. We noticed when we were pressurizing the cylinders to keep the valves in place that cylinder number 1 and cylinder number 8 just had so much blow by. The air compressor couldn't even keep up with cylinder number 1, and number 8 you could see the air just blowing up through all the oil passages. So the middle ones you could, it was decent. The thing I'm concerned about is even if I put fuel in there with spark, it should at least cough chug something even with a little bit of compression that there is. I mean, I should be able to hear something at least kind of ignite the fuel, but I'm not even getting that. So I decided to pull the intake manifold off. If you look down in the ports there, there's a lot of crusty just junk. See all that crap? So there it is. See, that is coming out of the ports. So it's probably a good thing this thing didn't like fire up or pull too much vacuum, because I really don't want all that crap going into the cylinders. And that was just from, I noticed that from pulling the carburetor off, that underneath that it was all cruddy. I figured the whole manifold was like that. The heat shield or heat bypass, whatever, for warming up the intake manifold is completely seized up. If it comes down to where I have to pull the head off, I'm gonna have to take all the stuff off anyway. So that's where I'm at. I'm getting it down to basically just pulling the head, because nothing else is working to bring these rings back into place. So anyway, gonna press on, get the intake manifold cleaned up, and kind of see what things look like. Well, alas, no matter what manner of potions, concoctions I came up with to try and unstick these rings and get compression back has not worked. I pulled the carburetor off just to look down in the intake manifold and saw a bunch of what I believe was the exhaust manifold. The heat flange in here, which is now closed, was stuck open. So what this was doing was, even if this thing was seized while it was running before, even when the car was warm and the intake was warmed up, this was still allowing hot air to go up onto the intake manifold, basically superheating the fuel mixture and causing a lot of deposits inside there. Not very good. So I'm going to make sure that's cleaned out. I'm going to go ahead and pull the head off this. I already have all the bolts out. At this point it is ready to come off. Pull out all the push rods and then pop the head off there. Well, that idea didn't work out as well as planned. I mean, they're all separated by cylinder, but I guess I need a taller box or something. Jeez, those things are long. Alright. That's not working. Okay, well, here's where I'm at. This head is stuck on here. I've tried putting a big breaker bar inside the multiple ports on the side and pulling up on it. I've tried putting a couple pipes in there and pulling with both hands, and I mean, I'm shaking the whole car. It doesn't want to come off. I'm pretty sure I have all the bolts out. I mean, all the ones crossed here and all the ones on the back side are all out, so I can't imagine what the heck is holding this thing on other than just old gasket. So where I'm at now is my jack handle here. I have a block of wood, and by a block of wood I mean a branch, coming up through, and I'm going to catch the edge of the head right here and try and push up on that and pop that sucker loose. Well, guess what? It's a Christmas miracle. She finally popped. I don't know if you can see. See, I can get my finger in between there. Watch it. But yep, she finally popped up, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. I've been working on this thing for weeks, trying to get this head to pop off of here. I was questioning if I even got all the bolts out, because this head just would not budge. I put my floor jack underneath there, put this piece of wood, wedged up underneath the head, had pressure on it. I jumped on the, I was like up on the side rail, pushing down on the car, trying to get that thing to pop. It just would not move. There was almost, I'd almost picked the front of the car off the ground trying to get that head to pop off, and it would not come. So I was looking online, and I was even to the point where a friend of mine suggested putting the wood under that side and then hitting this side with a brass hammer. So that's what I did last night, and it just was not happening. So I watched a video on a guy that had a Jaguar motor that the heads were stuck on, and what he did was he took some acetone mixed with automatic transmission fluid, and what he did was he poured it down the head bolt holes, allows the fluid to sit right at the seam of the head and penetrate into there. He said that is the best penetrating fluid to use. So I did that last night, and I took my skinny funnel and I ran it down every single bolt hole. Now some of it drained through, some of it held the fluid for a while, but eventually it didn't take long for that fluid to run down in, and then I topped off a couple that the fluid had ran out of. The holes on this side, on the back side, these apparently run into water jackets, because as I poured the fluid in, I could hear it draining right into the block and so on. So I knew that one wasn't really going to work. I left it last night. I went to work today, came home, and I reached over here and I could feel that was a little loose, but the head was still in place. I also ran the strap around there just to catch it in case it did pop. Went over to my jack handle, put a couple pumps on that, and the head just went thump and just came right off like butter. So that worked out really, really well. I'm gonna let my jack down. Boom, that's a loose head. Nice. Okay, that worked out well. I gotta get some buddies over here to help me lift this sucker off.
Okay, so where do you want me?
I think we'll probably both end up on that side,
Okay.
but I want to get on this side just to kind of see.
Okay.
It doesn't, I mean, it moves. I don't think it's
Now,
too bad.
remember, you're probably 10 times stronger in your arms than I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Alright, yeah, it's heavy, but yeah, that's why I put all this up there,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if we need to kind of rest it a little bit, we can. Oh yeah. Okay. I think it's going to be a matter of getting it off the supports,
Okay.
and then I'm just going to kind of kick it over so then it'll slide out a little bit.
Put that down.
Yeah, I don't want you to poke yourself or anything. Okay. I don't know if, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hey, you're doing okay. That's good right there. Perfect. Okay, so that side's off. Yep. You gotta get all these hoses and lines out of the way. Oh, there. Okay, that was the gasket letting go. Okay, let me set it right here for just a second.
Oh, some leaking
Oh,
fluid.
that's all right. All right. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. I got that in.
How are you doing that?
Okay. It's not 350 pounds like they told me it was, but it ain't light. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Good Lord.
Yep. All right. Well, that worked.
Yay, that's so cool, man.
Had to bring over the hired muscle. All right. Well, there we go. That one seems pretty. See, it'll be.
Is anything seized?
No, everything.
Oh, that's right. They do.
Yeah, this motor spins over. I'm just not getting much compression in the end cylinders.
Yeah. Rings
Number
will
one.
handle that, right?
I hope so. I'm gonna put a gauge, put a micrometer down in there, and check my bore and see if
Okay.
it's wider at the top.
Do you have one of those things with springs that comes out?
I do not. I don't have. I think it's a dial bore gauge.
I mean, it has like.
Oh, a hone.
Just a hone.
Cylinder hone. I do not, and I'm gonna.
Oh.
Yeah, because I want to hone them also. First inspection. Let's see. A little bit of corrosion. I mean, real light. But I mean,
Has to be
the
expensive,
cylinders.
though, isn't it, for that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been sitting here for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's taken me what, 3 weeks to get these heads off of here. But yeah, the cylinders look good so far. I'll get in there and inspect a little bit closer. Okay, well, here's the head. This thing, the water ports in here are just packed full of goo. Really nasty, as you can see. Probably a good thing I didn't get this thing fired up, because I definitely would have had some overheating problems in the heads. Yeah, they're, yep. I mean, they're packed solid. Some of them are. It's like green, muddy garbage. There you go. I gotta get this thing scraped, get it cleaned up, and I gotta call around to some machine shops. I definitely want to get some head work done. I want to see about getting, you know, basically just mill the head, make sure it's nice and flat, possibly harden the valve seats, and maybe even shave it down just a skosh, just to bump up the compression. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of room. This thing's only, I think it's 6.5 to 1 compression. So, a little extra compression isn't going to hurt anything. I know it's a 6-volt system, so it's going to struggle a little bit cranking it over. If I do have to bump it up to a 12-volt on the starter, that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem doing that. And then getting, you know, a little bit more performance out of it. That might be pretty cool. So I think I'm going to end this video right here. As you can see, I got my work cut out for me, scraping and things like that. I want to check, you know, cylinders and make sure that I don't have too much wear and tear on this engine. The next video will be hopefully getting this thing back together and getting it fired up. Skip you all over, you know, all the machining and cleaning work that I'm going to have done. Maybe throw a little bit in there if I got to hone the cylinders and things like that. But that is it for now. I'm going to go ahead and get this video edited and put together. It's been, I think, since 3rd week in May, and now it's the 1st week of August, so it's been a while trying to get this thing ready and going. But anyway, I want to thank you all so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this content, please leave a comment. I love hearing about these Buicks and old cars that you all had. So once again, thank you very much, and God bless.